in the 14th Amendment. And that tells you that we're not necessarily citizens of the America we think we are. We're actually citizens of a corporation that has extended its reach by creating a federal grid system using zip codes. So we've been living in this virtual reality for a very long time, and we didn't even realize it.
What's up, baby? Welcome back to another episode of Rated G with Gary G. Garcia and Brian Licata. I'm your host once again, Gary G. Garcia, along with my brother in misinformation, Brian Licata. And today, we got our brother Mo back with us. I don't think we've had anybody on the show more than you, Mo.
Tristan, what, twice?
We've had Tristan twice, and we've had Mo. This is like his third time.
This is my third time. Wow.
He took Tristan off.
Okay. All right. I mean, I'm cool with it.
Yeah, so are we.
Quick catch up, man. How's everybody doing? Brian, how was your weekend so far?
It was good. I went to the beach this morning. It was nice, kind of hot, but that's what you want when you're at the beach.
Jealous.
And yeah, I'm just chilling. I had a good day.
Very good.
I'm having a real good cup of coffee now also.
Very good. Mo, how are you, man? Are you back in the States or?
Yeah, I'm back. I'm back in, America.
How you been, man? How's everything?
Look, man, I am blessed. You know what I'm saying? Like, I'm blessed, bro. I can't complain. I shouldn't complain. If you catch me complaining,
I'll let you know.
Let me know, because I should not be complaining, even though,
there is a lot to complain about.
There's a lot to complain about, right? But I'm
there
healthy.
really
I
is,
wake
man.
up in the morning. I got my pops in the background right there.
Oh, what up, Pop?
Yeah, you think he fell asleep, but
shout out to Mo's Pops. Pew, 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 pew.
But yeah, man, look, I'm good, bro. Just watching the time go by. You know what I'm saying? We living in a different world. I'm just watching the time go by. Trying to raise my
living
voice.
In a different world. Let's jump right in it, man. I've been going deep in the Great Reset. Have you been checking that out at all?
The Great Reset. Is that a documentary, or is that just what we're in right now?
That's exactly what we're in right now.
Because
it's exactly what we're in right now. And
as far as I'm concerned, this whole thing is a movie. Like we're living a movie right now. And I'm just like, as me and one of my mans would be saying, we just popping the popcorn. Like, oh shit, they really did that.
It's crazy, right? So, and what's crazy is they say that the Great Reset, some people call it conspiracy. It's not a conspiracy theory. They're openly calling it the Great Reset, and they're openly saying the New World Order. So it's not like it's a thing that they're not doing right in front of our face. The Great Reset is basically the people running it is from the WEF, right? The World Economic Forum.
Economic Forum, yeah.
And it's all the lead, head honchos that own all these crazy major corporations. They all hook up there, and they have these,
This is their website.
Yeah, what's funny is, well, you know what their motto is, right?
This is it. This is the World Economic.
I just want to know, when this is all said and done, do I have a supporting role character, or am I like an extra?
You're just an extra. Dude, everyone is an extra. That's what they're pushing for. And what people don't realize is, what their motto is? Their motto is, you will own nothing and be happy.
Be happy.
How is that not the boldest thing you've ever heard?
So hold up. Like I'm gonna challenge that, right? And I'm not in support of it, but I'm gonna challenge it just a little bit, because the reality is we really already don't own anything. So if we take it back to Genesis. God created the world and then created man, right?
Mm-hmm.
And then God gave man possession of what he created, not necessarily ownership of it.
No, we're stewards.
Right? Stewardship. So really, even like the land, like this house I'm living in, right? We say I own it, but I just really have possession of it.
Yep.
Right. So from that standpoint, I feel like it's important for humanity to realize that we are only stewards of our environment. We really don't own anything. In fact, if the trees could talk, they would tell us stories of our ancestors who possessed this land before us, right? So the idea of not owning anything doesn't really bother me, but the idea of another group of people claiming ownership and allowing me to possess bothers me.
Yeah. Well, everything will be rented.
Yeah, right.
So there'll be no, I mean, in a sense, like you said, in a sense, that's already always been the case. Because even if you own property and you own land, the government can come in and take that land.
Eminent domain, yeah.
Eminent domain, that's right.
Yep. They could come in and snatch that land from you.
I mean,
so in reality, you don't own anything.
Like I'm probably not going to be buying anything right now. Like me and my fiance, we're not going to be buying anything for a while. You know,
They're trying to move to a place where you don't buy anything. Everything is rented.
Dude, it's so expensive. Like, yo, I was driving with my friend today, right? We were driving through a not nice neighborhood in this town in Delray, but it's very close to the beach. A shithole of a house was going for $1.7 million.
Wow. Well, I mean, it's close to the beach.
Yeah, let me see if I can pull it up. South.
Yeah, I don't get that.
Yeah,
I don't get that at all.
So definitely, I feel like there's a big move to buy up all the property. Just from New York, I've been hearing a lot about Florida. Like there's I don't know the name of the corporation, but they've been buying up a lot of the.
Is it Blackrock?
I think so, or
because Blackrock has been buying up mad land, mad. What they're trying to do is they're trying to get rid of suburbs.
Right.
They're trying
to
make
in my neighborhood over here in Brooklyn. Like I think
check this out. This was the house. It's like run down. It's boarded up and shit. You see it?
I mean, that's a dream house.
Something million.
That's a New York dream house right there.
1.4. I'm sorry, 1.48.
1.4 beds, 3 baths. I mean,
it's the land.
Yeah, and it's a big ass house though. 4 beds, 3 baths.
But dude, you would have to demolish it. You couldn't live in that thing. No way. It's been abandoned for years.
You would buy that though? Would you buy it if the price was reasonable?
Yeah, dude. If it was like 400,000 or 500,000, I would jump on that thing because I know the land would be worth a lot more.
Unless the government comes and decides to take it.
Right. But yeah, there's definitely
like that BlackRock company's buying up mad stuff.
Right.
And supposedly what they want to do is they want to get rid of single family homes. That's part of the plan of the whole Great Reset shit is to get rid of single family homes and create like mini units.
Right.
You know what I'm saying? Like 2 family houses, 3 family houses. So they're trying to get rid of the suburbs. The only ones who will be allowed to live away from people will be them. And who are they? Them.
Right. And this other shit. Have you guys heard of the line?
Yeah, I was about to say, did you hear about the line, dog?
Yes.
They're building a place called Line for my listeners who don't know what we're talking about. Yo, could you find a commercial?
Yeah, find that clip, yo.
Ryan.
Yeah, I'm getting on here. I'm pulling up a BlackRock article right here. It says BlackRock. This is from last year. It said buying every single family house that they could find 20 to 50% above asking price.
Yeah. And why you think they're doing that? Even the name of the place, BlackRock, sounds evil.
Right.
Sounds like a corporation in G.I. Joe.
Wow.
Yeah. So they're buying that. They're paying mad, buying that shit up. Why? Why? Why is a company buying up all those houses, man?
And here's it's this shit is spiritual, man. For everybody that still don't see the spiritual side of this.
It really is good versus evil.
You gotta wait. It's God versus evil. God versus evil.
Yeah, it's God versus evil.
And matter of fact, I like to change
corrected.
I like to change because it's when you say God versus evil, it makes it seem as though evil has
any say on God.
Right. So it's really
he's
evil
relaxing,
struggling with God. It's evil struggling with God at this point.
Well, that's what I'm saying, man.
But and this is just what it is right now, because it's happening all over the world. And one of the ways that I tell people, this is how you identify whether it's God's enemy versus God. You see, when you say who's doing it, you say BlackRock, right? When you have to give me a name of a corporation and it doesn't have a face, that's how you know it's the enemy of God. Anytime you read in the newspaper or you hear somebody mention an entity that's doing something, who's doing this? Well, Blackrock is doing it. Or who said it?
Well, not just them either. There's a Chinese company from China. They're not even out here. It's a Chinese company from China buying up mad land out here.
Right. So if you have to name who's doing it, whatever that name is, if they give you a name when there's no face, then that's how you know it's God's enemy. Yeah. And I like, for me, the book of Genesis has been so revelatory, right? Because God said, let us make man in our image. And he created a man with a face. So now Satan's job is to overturn what God is doing. But however, to reverse God is to get rid of the image of God. So all of these companies, you realize that these companies that's making these moves, they don't have a face. Whether it's a government entity, there is no face on them. It's just a name. Who's doing it? BlackRock. Who's doing it? Pfizer. Who's doing it? And they might have CEOs, but they can replace those CEOs and that company will remain the same because they really don't have a face. You know what I'm saying? And that's getting that, in my opinion, that's the way the enemy's getting rid of the image of God. Because an image, when you want the image, it has a feature, it has a way of describing who's responsible, what image is responsible for the destruction right now. You got the World Health Organization, the World Health Economic Forum, WEF, right? They don't really have a face. It's just a group of people, right? You got
that one dude who runs
Klaus Schwab.
Right. And when he's dead and gone, somebody's going to replace him because the organization will still exist.
Yep.
You know what I'm saying? And it's crazy. Like these entities with these faceless entities are the ones in charge of this great reset.
Oh, yeah. Yeah.
I got this line video up here if you want to watch it.
Yeah, let's check it out.
Let's check out the line, man.
This shit is crazy.
People ready for this?
Couldn't cope with growth. The contemporary city needs a full redesign.
This ain't their main
what if
commercial.
We removed cars?
Yeah, this is a different one.
What if we got rid of streets? What if we innovated in the public space? What if we built around nature instead of over it? What if everything you needed was always a 5-minute walk away? What if invisible technology generates carefree and open urban space?
Invisible technology.
What if sustainability was not a goal, but a given? What if we replaced outdated urban services with new services driven by artificial intelligence?
AI.
What if we built the line? A 170-kilometer revolution in urban living.
Urban living.
Protecting the Earth's most stunning nature while creating unmatched livability. A home to all of us. Welcome to the line.
Bro, I don't know how many white people live out there.
There's another commercial. Try to find a commercial.
A commercial?
Yeah, there's a commercial where it says you will own nothing and be happy. You could basically get anywhere. It shows how it's going to look inside. You can get anywhere, they say, within 15 minutes or something like that. You could travel the whole place in 20 minutes. You won't need cars. I mean, this is just a concept. It's not something that they started building yet. Put out the line commercial.
There's another video from the line that's just even more.
Yeah, it's the commercial.
Sinister. It's like it's really, honestly, when I saw it, I wasn't sure if this was like a movie coming out or if it was real. Like it took me a minute to process. I'm like, wait, this is for real? Like, I'm gonna see if I can find it, but
hey, hold on.
I mean,
is this one it?
Let me see.
Let's see. It's another one, man.
No?
Let's see what this is.
I don't think this is.
I don't think this is either.
I see trees of green.
I never
What song is this? What song is this?
What a Wonderful World.
Wonderful World, yeah.
What a wonderful world.
Nah, that's not the one I was thinking of. This is just, but look at this shit. basically what people don't realize is that's what you're going to live in. You know, they want you to live in this life. See how it's reflected? They're basically building a wall.
Right. You're building a wall, and I want to know who's going to be outside the line.
Exactly. And look at it, it's going to be a reflective. You know how many animals and birds are going to be smashing into those windows?
Yo, who's gonna be living outside on that little river wastewater area? You know,
Me.
Yeah, us.
Me.
Us.
Unless they get me first.
Me.
I don't know what video you're talking about. There, I mean, there's a few of them.
Yeah.
You know, so
There was one where they actually they kind of drop it real hard, like fucking it says you will own nothing and be happy. And then
I got a video from Sky News in Australia. Is that what you want? That video?
I don't know, pop it up and I'll tell you right off the bat, but I don't want to keep going through all the videos. If you can't find it, we can't find it. I mean, we've seen basically enough of it. It's basically a wall and it's like as high as the Empire State Building. And it's crazy, yo.
No, I don't have the one.
It's crazy. They want you to live in there, and that's where you'll stay. That's insanity.
Yeah, dude. I mean, I watched a what show was that? I think it was it's called The Expanse. It was on Amazon. Have you seen it? It's like a sci-fi show.
Nah, I don't watch sci-fi shit.
Dude, you should, if you're into this. I mean, like seeing this kind of stuff come up, the sci-fi.
Well, yeah. I learned very long ago that whatever they show you in sci-fi movies, they already have.
Right.
Right. Think about it. Star Trek, cell phones. That's all they were.
Yep.
The flip phones.
Yep.
They have flip phones.
Yep.
Yeah, you're right.
It's insanity, dude. And basically, they're going to change. It's going to get to a point where you don't even work. You know, or you don't do work like you normally did work before. Everyone's going to be on stipends. Is that what they call it? Stipends?
Stipends, dog.
Can I share my screen? Is that something I can do?
No, I don't think you can. Can you send it to me? Because I'll have to make you the host and we're recording. If you want to just send it to me in the chat. But I think I found the video. Did you find the video also? Here. I think this is it. This has got to be it.
Yeah, I think this is it.
Is this what you sent me, Mo?
Let me see. Oh,
For too long, humanity has existed within dysfunctional and polluted cities that ignore nature.
Yeah.
Now, a revolution in civilization is taking place. Imagine a traditional city and consolidating its footprint, designing to protect and enhance nature. The line will be home to 9 million residents and will be built with a footprint of just 34 square kilometers.
That's all
and
of New
we are
York.
designing it to provide a healthier, more sustainable quality of life. The line's communities are organized in 3 dimensions. Residents have access to all their daily needs within 5-minute walk neighborhoods. And the line's infrastructure makes it possible to travel end to end in 20 minutes with no need for cars, resulting in 0 carbon emissions.
Zero freedom also.
By leveraging AI technology, services are autonomous, saving you time and effort. Designed by world-leading architects, the line is 500 meters tall.
See that?
200 meters wide, 170 kilometers long, and housed within an elegant mirror glass facade.
All those animals to run head first.
Intelligent solutions create efficiency and year-round temperate microclimate with natural ventilation.
Yeah.
Energy and water supplies are 100% renewable. The line is designed as a series of unique communities, offering a wealth of amenities, providing equitable views and immediate access to the surrounding nature.
View?
With 40% of the world accessible within 6 hours, at the heart of the globe's key trade routes, a place for commerce and communities to thrive like nothing on Earth seen before. The Line, the city that delivers new wonders for the world.
Yeah, man. And dude, bring up Great Reset commercial.
Yo,
there's a commercial for the Great Reset. Like I said, they're not. This was crazy. They're not hiding this at all. And think about that, all right? You got that long ass thing. Everything's brand new. It all looks beautiful. But within that, they're going to have difference. There's still going to be a lower class, middle class, and upper class.
I mean, I wonder, will there be
any upper class?
I mean, it has to be like
whoever ain't making $1 billion. They'll be millionaires.
Is this what you're saying?
Yeah. You would own nothing and be happy. This is about the great reset right here. Whatever you want, you will rent, and it will be delivered by drone. Isn't that nice?
That's true.
The U.S. won't be the world's leading power. A handful of countries will dominate. You won't die waiting for an organ donor.
You already got your clone.
We won't transplant organs. We'll print new ones instead. You'll eat much less meat. Fuck you, I like meat. An occasional treat, not a staple for the good of the environment and our health. 1 billion people will be displaced by climate change. We'll have to do a better job at welcoming and interrogating refugees.
Integrating.
Oh, integrating. All right. Same shit. I'm sure there's some interrogations going on in those integrations. You know what I'm saying? Everything you want, you'll rent, and it'll be delivered by drones. So you won't even be going out to get shit. Whatever you want, they'll bring it to you. Don't even worry about coming out to us.
This is for the zombies. I'm sorry. If anybody that's okay with this, you are a zombie.
Yeah.
Because you can't see the fact that you're saying everything will be delivered by drones. That means you want me to sit at home, on my couch
all the time,
which means
they're gonna find ways. They'll find ways, because, like you said, it's about energy, right? Yeah. Back in one of our earlier episodes, we spoke about energy is the price that we give to each other, right? And that's what it's gonna be. It's gonna be they'll find a way for us to sit home, watch TV or play video games or do something.
We'll be in a virtual reality scenario. It'll be a virtual reality scenario, and folks will sit down and you'll be having sex on the couch, just you by yourself.
Yep.
Because you'll be in some simulation. About that. You see, you'll be in some simulation with somebody else in another simulation, and the avatars in your simulation will be doing all the work, and you'll be sitting down as a couch potato, and you probably have an IV connected to you so they can continue feeding you. So, you order your shit via drone. The drone will come plug you in. It's the Matrix. Remember the Matrix?
Yep.
It's the Matrix. It's pretty much insane. The Matrix playing out. And let me show you this. The reality for the Matrix has already been laid out. We have been living in a virtual reality for God knows how long. I can't give you the dates. But for example, there's something called, I don't know if you guys have heard of the United States. You've heard of the United States of America?
Yeah.
All right. You heard of the US. So you know that there's the US, the corporation, and then the United States of America, the actual territory, right? So there is the United States Corporation, which is a company that located in the 10 square miles in the District of Columbia. That's the federal government, which is the United States of the United States. It's 10 square miles in the District of Columbia. Mm-hmm. Now, they are incorporated. That's very different from the United States of America, the land that we actually walk on. Mm-hmm. So they've created almost like a virtual reality years ago, because that federal corporation has extended its power throughout, or rather over, the United States by creating what's called a zip code. So now your zip code that you have, that you send your mail to, is almost like a grid territory that overlays the location land of America. And all of us, and if you look at the 14th Amendment, all of the citizens, we are not necessarily citizens of the constitutional America. We're actually citizens of the corporate America. And if you look through your Constitution, you'll realize that if you just pull up your Constitution one day, and you realize that the 14th Amendment allows everyone to be citizens, but the word citizen has become lowercase in the in the 14th Amendment. And that tells you that we're not necessarily citizens of the America we think we are. We're actually citizens of a corporation that has extended its reach by creating a federal grid system using zip codes. So we've been living in this virtual reality for a very long time, and we didn't even realize it.
Yeah.
And now what we're seeing is an expansion of that. I don't know if you guys understand what I'm saying.
Yeah, we got some stuff we need to go into right now.
No, I get what you're saying. I just don't like what you're saying.
So
understanding and liking are two different things. I just don't like what you're saying. You know?
Do you know any more about like some history of the 14th Amendment and stuff like that? Because this is the first I've ever heard of anything like this.
Bring it up. Bring up the 14th Amendment. Let's take a look at it.
I got it up here. I just want.
There's something I wanted to add though, real quick about that. Like, all right, let's look at this first.
Yeah.
All persons born or
naturalized in the
United States and subject to the jurisdiction.
Yeah, you got to read it aloud, dog. For the
and subject to the jurisdiction thereof are citizens, lowercase, of the United States and of the state wherein they reside. No state shall make or enforce any law which shall abridge the privilege or immunities of citizens of the United States, nor shall any state deprive any person of life, liberty, or property without due process of law, nor deny to any person within its jurisdiction the equal protection of the law.
So I would like you to do one better, if you don't mind. I would like you to pull up, if you can, a PDF of the Constitution itself. So we could just look at the Constitution. If you could pull up a PDF, let's look at it. And if you can use a feature, I know my computer, it's Control F, and I put in the word citizen. I don't even like these constitutions right there. Can we get a different one?
Yeah.
Like if you can get as close to the old document, like look at the actual.
Put in original document.
Just
okay.
Because the way the Constitution is written is very important for us to understand who has power and who doesn't.
Well, I know who doesn't.
Yeah, we don't.
Yeah, I know who doesn't. Power. It's like one of those things. I can't tell you what I did yesterday, but I can tell you what I didn't do.
Man, it's kind of hard to find them. You can find the original transcriptions, but like pictures of it, not really.
Let me see if I can find the link, and then I'll just send it to you because
I wanted to say something though about the line real quick. To me, right, there's going to be an area probably somewhere down on one end, as far as from the other end that could possibly be, that's going to look like, all those movies where like you see motherfuckers just wilding out. Because people are going to wild out, especially being locked in that encampment.
Right.
The natural order of man, like it's the natural thing of man to like create problems.
I just sent you a link.
You know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
To create problems. Like I said, I always look at Walking Dead. I look at Walking Dead, right? And the one thing I get from that is that even after the apocalypse of the zombies, right? People are still assholes to each other. There's still people trying to hurt each other, trying to control each other. There's still fighting. There's just zombies around. That's the only difference. And everything ain't as good as it used to be. But nobody sat here and said, look at how everything got fucked up. You know what I'm saying?
Right.
And let's just all get along. No, they're still assholes. So you're going to tell me in the line with 9 million people, there's not going to be a ghetto? And what's that ghetto going to look like? That ghetto is going to look like fucking Queens. Because even if they think about it, even if they get rid of the ghettos now, even if they manage to say none of the people in the hood are allowed in, right? And they leave them all out there. They take away the stores, let them all just fight till they kill each other, right? While they're all safe in this class encampment. Eventually, someone who used to be above them will become the lower class because that's just what people do.
Right.
Because nowhere in there is God. So you're looking at it like, there'll be some people with God who are in there, even though I don't think they will. Because how can anybody who follows God want to be locked in there? Don't get me wrong. It looks like a nice place to visit. To go into
looks
like
pretty cool.
To go into like a nice place to visit, to go inside like a futuristic mall. That's what it is. Rent out a B&B there. go check it out, see the whole place in 20 minutes. You know what I'm saying? Sure, I'll visit a place like that, but to stay and live in a place like that.
I'm just interested in knowing to see. I don't believe that it's for everyone because they're saying, you'll be
Well,
renting.
it's not. It's only 9 million.
You'll be renting that place, which means it's only for a select few.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? It's only for a select few.
9 million.
Yeah.
That's obviously the numbers are off.
Yeah. So let's check out this grid. So you got that constitution I sent you?
Yep. Here we go. Boom.
So the first thing I want us to do is pull up the preamble. Go to the preamble, and let's just analyze the preamble. Mm-hmm. Now,
zoom it in a little bit.
Yeah. Now I want you to look at the beginning. It says, "We the people." Notice that "we the people" are in all caps. We the people of the United States are in all caps. Yeah. Right. Now, in the original document of the Constitution itself, I believe the words "we the people" will be all caps, like all the letters are all caps. Now I want you to, if you can, you do Control F if you can, and put in the word citizen.
Okay.
Boom. Look at the word citizen. 7, all caps, right? Go down the line. If it gives you, go down the line of all of the words citizens. We just analyze it for the word all caps, citizens. Let's go. All caps, citizens. Keep going. Go to, I can't see that one. Citizen. All caps. Keep going. This is Article 4, all caps, citizens. Everywhere you see the word. Now that's telling you who has the power in the Constitution. The word citizens is all cap for a reason, because the Constitution was made for the power to be in the hands of the citizens. Now, where we are, 14th Amendment. Look at the word citizens. What happened to it?
Got the lowercase c over here.
Why? Who lost the power in this Constitution right here? Who lost the power?
1866.
They took away the power from the people. So now I'm trying to, what I'm explaining here is that the United States, every time you check off something that says, are you a US citizen? You are agreeing to be a citizen of the corporation government, not of the constitutional United States of America. I'm gonna be quiet for a minute.
Oh man, dude.
Let that sink in. Let that sink in. Your Constitution was written based on the laws of nature, which is based on the laws of God. They continue to create amendments to take away your power. God made it so that you, going back, God said, let us create man in our image. God is powerful. So you are the image of God. God extended his power to you. So when they created this Constitution, they created it on the laws of nature. So initially it was which is why they have the Bill of Rights. The Bill of Rights are the first 10 amendments.
Right.
Because they made sure to protect the power of the citizens, because it was God wants you to have all power. God gave you free will. Even God said, look, I am your God, but I'm not taking away your power. You could decide not to serve me. God gave you power. Now we're living in a world where your government and this is not just now, was rewriting the Constitution to take away your God-given power.
And it started in 1866, apparently.
You know what I mean?
Okay, yeah. So I want to go into this a little bit about the history of the 14th Amendment, because this is kind of cool. The 13th Amendment is the one that abolished slavery.
Yes. Let's talk about that.
The 14th Amendment was a Reconstruction Amendment. Here, I'm pulling this up from Wikipedia. So it's just the 14th Amendment to the United States Constitution was adopted on July 9th, 1868, as one of the Reconstruction Amendments, often considered one of the most consequential amendments that addressed citizenship rights and equal protection under the law, and was proposed in response to issues related to former slaves following the American Civil War. The amendment was bitterly contested, particularly by the states of the Confederacy, who were forced to ratify it in order to regain representation in Congress. So the northern states made them take this in order to get their congressional seats back. The amendment, particularly in its first section, is one of the most litigated parts of the Constitution, forming the basis for landmark Supreme Court decisions such as Brown versus Board of Ed, Roe v. Wade, and Bush versus Gore.
Bush versus Gore. What was Bush versus Gore?
Well, that was the election.
The election, yeah.
The election.
Now, if I'm not mistaken, don't quote me on this one, but this is something to research.
Wait. Go back to that real quick.
Go back. Okay, sorry.
Something I just saw. I want to see if it
I believe that the
something.
14th Amendment
wasn't
really ratified like the traditional amendments.
Hold on a second. It says the amendment's first section includes several clauses. The citizenship clause is the first sentence of the 14th Amendment. Go back to that. Put you right over that. Yeah. 14th Amendment to the United States Constitution, which was adopted on July 9th.
Yeah, I'll pull it up.
Privilege of.
This is it.
Our citizens, small cap.
Now you gotta question which United States is it referring to? All persons born in the United States are subject to the jurisdiction thereof. So all persons born or naturalized in the United States are subject to the jurisdiction thereof. Are citizens, lower cap of the United States and other states wherein they reside. Now, subjects, if you are a subject of the king, you are beneath the king. If you are subject of the United States, you are low. The government supersedes you.
We've known
getting
this,
a
though,
migraine.
right? Yeah, we've known this, though, right, G? Come on.
Yeah, I mean,
most
see, here's
tell
the
us.
thing.
I mean, we've known this. He's just spelling it out with the Constitution.
Yeah.
Thanks,
He's just
bro.
showing that
we
this
needed this.
This
bro.
is exactly what it is. You know what I'm saying? It's one of those things where, like, I can sit here and say I don't. I'm waiting for him to come back. It's one of those things.
Such a nice day, dude. I was at the beach.
I know. I just gave myself a migraine. I was. I'm gonna take Tylenol. I'm sitting here and I'm thinking as we're going through this, I'm thinking, well, what do I give a fuck? I know, at the particular money range that I'm in, that I ain't shit. Like, you know what I'm saying? Like, I know that. It's like I've lived all this shit. You ain't gotta tell me that I'm a lower class citizen. I knew that shit. But to see it all the way you're dropping it, and to see, because there is a book on when the country was sold.
Right.
There's a whole book on that when it became, this country was sold.
Right.
It belongs to the corporations.
Yes.
And which, by the way, are all part of the WEF. Yep. So in a sense, it's like I know that, but then when you see it in writing, when you see how it changes, it's just
right.
Worthy.
We're living in an illusion. So we're living in an alternate reality. And folks need to wake up. We think, like, we use the word citizens, but it's not the same citizen. We're subjects.
We've been downgraded.
Yep. Which is why they can
right under our very noses.
Yep. They can do things like mandate these, vaccines or whatever, and tell you have to do certain things. And it's quite legal. In fact, if you go back, if you look at the 13th, because he was talking about the 13th Amendment, and if you look, the 13th Amendment abolished slavery, because here's what the leaders of the not so free world realized, that slavery was almost like a sample of what they could do. So they enslaved, and even before that, they were trying to enslave white folks in the early days before they enslaved black folks. They were kidnapping children from England and bringing them over to the United States. They had indentured servants coming over, but they realized that they couldn't control the white slaves or the white indentured as they could, because they could just run away and blend into society, right? So they captured the Africans because their color made it so easy for them to capture them and continue to track them. So they've learned a lot from slavery. So it's not, and this is a revelation for me, it's not so much about hating your color. Your color made us a target. So now what they've done, if you look at the 13th Amendment, they made slavery illegal. And the 14th Amendment came right after that and gave everyone the same status as the slaves that they now just freed. So the 13th Amendment really didn't abolish slavery. Let me correct that. It just reorganized slavery. It now says that, in order to be a slave, you have to be in prison, right? So it made that all the Blacks in the United States were now not uppercase citizens. It made that Blacks and everyone else If you're born here, you're now subjects of the government. So so the government learned from slavery that, instead of enslaving blacks, let's just enslave the entire citizenry, which is what they did with the 14th Amendment.
Bring Mo back on the show, he said. It's always great to have Mo on the show, he said. No, I love that you're here, dog. I love kicking it with you, man. This shit is mind-blowing. But like he said, it's just like, it's not like we didn't know this. You know what I'm saying? It's not like we didn't know, but then you see it.
Yeah. So the 14th Amendment didn't give any rights to the Indians at that time too, which is pretty funny when you look at it. They got
some shit. They still found someone to put lower. But you know how that is. You got to put someone lower so that the people at the bottom feel a little bit above somebody.
It's also to create confusion within the populace. It's about keeping.
Hold on a second. Let's get to this point,
bro.
Section 4. The validity of the public debt of the United States authorized by law, including debts incurred for payment of pensions and bounties for services in suppressing insurrection or rebellion, shall not be questioned. Some pretty strong language right there. But neither the United States nor any state shall assume or pay any debt or obligation.
I would ask what that means, but I guess I can't.
Yeah, look, there's so many revealing ideas in the Constitution. There's so many revealing ideas in the Constitution. I can tell you, do you know also that it's illegal to pay debts with anything other than gold and silver written in your Constitution?
Which one is that in?
That's in just gold. Do a Google search for gold and silver.
Yeah, here we go. Section 10 of, which one is this?
Shit, man.
Oh, number 1.
I think it's
the First Amendment.
Legislative. Yeah. It's either in the legislative branch. I think it's legislative. The legislative section.
How doesn't your head just explode, Mo? How doesn't it just explode from too much information, dude? Your filing cabinets are thick, dog. Word up, man.
Conference.
Up here.
Any treaty, alliance, or confederation, grant letters, or what's that? Marquee?
Right.
And reprisal,
make
coin
anything
money,
but gold and silver, coin,
bills of credit. Make anything but
debts.
Gold and silver, coin, a tender and payment of debts. Pass any bill of attainder, ex post facto law, or law impairing the obligation of contracts, or grant any title of nobility.
So title of nobility, that's another thing. Titles of this whole thing is a sham. Titles of nobility is like Esquire. Your attorney has a title of, which is Esquire, which is a title of a nobility. So in essence, it's illegal to have attorneys at law. And the reason why we have attorneys is to really turn over your rights.
Yeah, of course, they're there to add all the bullshit to something. So you don't know what the fuck you're reading.
The fact that we have printed money, this dollar right here, which is paper, it's illegal according to the Constitution for us to use this to pay debts. We're supposed to be using gold and silver. But because the Constitution has been obsolete for years, it doesn't matter.
Well, gold and silver does. But what about the fact that gold and silver is supposed to back the dollar, although we know it doesn't now? Was there a time that it did?
There was a time where, when Fort Knox existed, where they used to, allegedly store all the gold.
Wait a minute. I'm sorry. I might sound like a dick, but Fort Knox doesn't exist anymore.
There's no gold. There's no gold. There's nowhere this dollar.
Wait a minute. Are you telling me Fort Knox doesn't exist? I got to keep it real. I haven't heard it mentioned in years.
Look, man.
You used to hear it all the time in the 70s. Right. Fort Knox. It's like Fort Knox.
That's where the gold was. It's not there anymore.
Yeah.
Where'd it go?
wherever the gold went. Or whoever, where did the gold go? No one's asking that question. Where did the gold go?
I didn't even know Fort Knox was gone, dog.
You know what I'm saying? I mean, let's look it up. Don't take my word for it. You know what I'm saying?
Yo,
the point is that
shit is crazy.
the dollar is backed by confidence. Confidence is.
See, I will say this though, it's a lot easier to carry around dollars. I hate when I got change in my pocket, which by the way is no longer silver.
Right.
It just weighs heavy. That's all. You know, but I mean, think about it. If you have to carry like a fucking $100 worth of gold on you, it's gonna weigh you down.
I mean, you know, things will cost less.
just out of convenience.
Right. Things will cost less.
Everything will cost less because you can only carry so much in your fucking pockets. And I'll tell you this, that baggy jean look would have been held by the rich. All the rich would be sagging their drawers because the weight would just be pulling their pants down.
Oh shit.
I thought that deserved a little better, but you know, whatever. Maybe I just like that. What are you always shitting about over there, Brian?
Oh, I'm trying to find. Oh, what the fuck is this? I'm trying to find gold stats for gold.
Well, you ain't gonna find that because there is no gold.
Oh no, there's gold, baby. There's gold. I just don't know where it is. We can't find the stats. Okay, here we go.
There is gold, but all the fucking rappers are wearing it. What are we looking at? Gotta zoom in a little bit, baby.
Allegedly gold reserves. But it doesn't look like it's changed at all.
July 2021, January. What happened in January 2022 that shit jumped up like that?
Well, it's not a very big scale, bro.
Not big, yeah, it's not a big jump if you look at the numbers.
Oh, if you look at the numbers, not a big jump. It just looks that way. Oh, those shiesty motherfuckers.
Yeah, no, I gotta find.
Look at Batman.
I gotta find something.
That alone is saying we need Batman. You saw that? It's sending out the bat signal. Where's the Boynton Beach Batman when you need him?
Dude.
But yeah, man, we're living in an alternate reality, man. The world that we think exists does not exist. And I feel like see,
that's the thing. I never really got so caught up in world things. To me, my reality was, you know, the 8 blocks around me, you know, it was a circumference, you know what I'm saying, of 8, you know, whatever that shit is, you know, like that was my reality. My reality was, you know, what's going on in my life. I never cared about politics. I never gave a shit about.
I'm like you, G, believe it or not. My reality.
But now I know
what's
all
going
this
on
shit.
in my life. But my reality has changed when
they took away my right to move around.
Affected my life. So now I couldn't move around. Now I couldn't have the job that I wanted to have. Now, in fact, I wrote a letter to my assembly person saying, look, you know, I was raised with a family that told me that I got to take care of myself. So now we're at a point in my life where the government, whatever laws that came out of government, never really bothered me because whatever you did, I was always going to find a way around it or a way through it.
Yep.
Now we're at a time where the laws that you're making or the mandates that you're creating is now affecting where I can't circumvent.
Exactly.
So now they got me paying attention. Now that's why, you know, I'm out here speaking out. You know what I'm saying? I'm out here doing these interviews.
They overreached.
You know, exactly. You're coming too close.
Because I heard someone say that about the abortion thing too. Like they were like one of the main reasons they decided to change it is they overreached. You know, they gave them abortions, which was supposed to be rare and only in times of necessity. And then it became, you know, don't tell nobody and whatever, accessible, where it became a form of birth control for some people, not every, but for some people. And then it was like they started making it longer and longer, even to the point of right before birth. They like just kept overreaching and overreaching. They didn't take what you know they say, give a motherfucker a rope, you want to be a cowboy. You know what I'm saying?
They haven't, as far as I'm understanding, they didn't. It's not like you can't get an abortion.
No, they put the power back in the states.
Right.
That's what they did. You know, everyone bugging out. You can still get them. You know, everyone's bugging out on that 10-year-old girl that had to go to another state to get the abortion. You heard about that?
I didn't hear about that.
10-year-old girl got raped, got pregnant. They had to take it to another state to get the abortion. What they were failing to mention was a couple of things. One, the dude was an illegal immigrant. right? 2, he was the mother's boyfriend. And that's why they had to take her to another state, because they didn't want it recorded in her state, because she didn't want her boyfriend to get in trouble.
Wow. She still loved this guy.
And he was still living there after this, by the way.
Wow.
So those are the things when you don't get the full story. A half, what is it, Mo? A half truth is still a lie.
It's still a lie.
You know what I'm saying? If you're leaving out important information, that's a lie.
Right.
And all the best lies got a lot of truth in them.
That's a fact. That's
you know what I'm saying? All the best lies got a lot of truth in them.
It's almost like irony that everyone that's upset about the inability, or quote unquote inability to get an abortion is the same people that were out here. Okay, so like the mantra for the pro-life, or the pro-choice was my body, my choice, right? But that mantra didn't work when it came to people who were like, I'm not taking a vaccine because it's my body, my choice.
Yep.
Like the irony of it all is like my body, my choice when it comes to you wanting to get an abortion, which I'm with that. I'm like, yo, it's your body. Do what the hell you want to do with it, right? But when it came to my body, my choice now, y'all the same people that's not trying to hear me.
Yep.
Paradox.
Yep.
It's too loud.
Yep.
Paradox is too loud right now. Like how can you in one breath say my body, my choice, but when it comes to vaccines, like, well, no, because that's different. That's affecting us all. Yeah. So I should not have a choice in my body because you believe that it affects my choice affects you. Which also is not true.
And the ones who scream the loudest are the ugly ones. I never understood that either. The ones that don't have to worry about it.
Yeah.
You know what I'm saying?
It's just crazy, man. The world is busting out of its seams right now. It's just everything is just getting crazy and chaotic, and
it's so crazy. But yo, man, it makes for good, like you said, viewing. Yeah. Sitting back, we're at the age we could ride this shit out.
I mean, yeah.
Most of it.
And that's why I can say I'm blessed.
Shit is happening quick.
I'm blessed right now. They took my job away. For those of you that don't know, that's going to watch this later, I was a teacher with the Department of Education for 23 years. And they took my job, because I didn't want to take that vaccine. But,
But now that it's not mandated, they didn't try to get you back? No, because they already see you as a problem. You're irrelevant.
They claim that it's the mayor, the wonderful Mayor Adams, says that those of us who did not take the vaccine did not get fired. We actually quit. You know what I mean? We quit our jobs, which is crazy, but that's the logic.
That's the logic, man.
You know what I mean? But I'm still standing. I'm still surviving. I'm still in the same house. I'm buying less sneakers.
Dude, you're a warrior,
less.
Man.
Yeah,
You know what I'm saying?
Business, called I Install It. I can show you that. All right. I started this business called I Install It. So for all your installation needs.
Oh, there you go. And you out where? In Brooklyn?
Brooklyn, Queens, Manhattan, Bronx, wherever.
All right, there you go, man. I Install It. What's the number there? Let me read it out.
It's a new sponsor of the show.
There you go. Yeah, man. 929-490-8083, man. Right. I Install It for
whatever you need to install, like, IKEA stuff, bathrooms. We did a bathroom installation. We did basketball hoops. We actually got a contract right now to do a retrofit an apartment for a wheelchair-bound elderly man. So whatever you need, I installed it. And look,
I'm sure you post stuff up on your Instagram as well.
I have not posted it on my Instagram yet because I kind of want to separate the two.
All right, cool. But we'll promote it, baby. Of course, we'll do our part to promote it, man. Yeah. Send the info to Brian, and we'll keep bigging it up, man.
Yeah, no doubt. Sure. Thank you. Yeah. So, and this is how I shape shifted, into being able to feed myself. Business is getting better.
Yep.
And you gotta be able to, shape shift when things like this happen. You know what I mean? You can't, and I'm all about not depending on the government,
Oh yeah, dude, I've never.
Not depending.
That's why I never cared. It's exactly what you said. Yeah. I never cared until they made me care.
Right.
Because even when all this shit was going on, I wasn't caring. I was just, I heard whatever was going on. People were telling me, gee, you're bugging, blah, 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 blah. They're pulling body bags out of the freaking, I don't know what the fuck they had in those body bags, potatoes, maybe. You know what I'm saying? Maybe potatoes. I don't know what the fuck they had in those shits. They weren't opening them up, showing me faces, Right. So I wasn't buying none of that shit. And I just didn't care. I was like, whoever wants to buy it, let it buy it. Right. But then they imposed their shit on me. Right. They made it where I couldn't do just the normal shit that I do.
You want to know what's going on. So it makes you look. It's like, oh, what? It made me look. I looked at the numbers. I watched all of the numbers in the early days of the pandemic when they were saying, I think we were in probably April, they were saying how all of these dead bodies, New York had all these dead bodies. I went into the CDC's website and I compared the numbers from 2020 at the time to the amount of deaths. And I think it was 2020 April, because we was in March, April. I think about April. Then I looked at 2017, 2018, 2019 to see if the number of deaths in the months of March and April had superseded those ones in previous years. You know what I mean? And what I found was that there was no significant increase in deaths
over any other year, right?
Right. There was no significant increase. I'm like, we're at a pandemic, but yet in the heart of the pandemic, you guys are talking about all these deaths, but I'm not seeing the correlation. And then, for months, I think 2 years later, you got Rochelle Walensky, who comes out and saying, she's like, well, yeah, what is it? She said 75% of all of those who died in the pandemic had at least 3 comorbidities, which means you had at least 3 different other sicknesses other than COVID, right? 75% of those who die had 3 other sicknesses, which means that's, if you do the math backwards, that means 25% at least had 1 or 2 other sicknesses. So how many people really die from just COVID alone?
They don't know, because they say it didn't matter what you got. You could have died of a heart attack. If you had COVID and you tested positive, they put you on that list.
And then if you look at
what's this?
Hey folks, Joe Biden here. Tested positive this morning. Going to be working from home for the next couple of days. And I'm feeling fine. Everything's good. But Command and I got a lot of work to do. Hey folks, Joe Biden here.
Fuck.
That's a fucking clone.
What the fuck? That dude. This is what happens, people, when you let your grandfather watch the kids. This is what I say. People say, how come the world's so fucked up? I say, this is what happens when you let your senile grandfather watch the kids for too long. He lets them do whatever they want to do. And this is what happens when you let the kids have a say. Right. You know what I'm saying? This is exactly what happens, people. Pop is good for a weekend. You can't let Pop control the kids for 4 years. You can't do it
again. And if you have eyes to see, if you have eyes to see and ears to hear, come on, pay attention.
They're gonna run amok.
They were saying that the vaccine was going to end this thing. It's the only way out of this, right?
Yeah, that's originally what.
Then it went from, I remember the president saying, if you get the vaccine, you're not gonna get COVID.
Yep.
And then it went from, all right, well, if you get the vaccine, it will reduce hospitalizations and death.
Yep.
Like, come on.
People ate it up.
Wake up and realize.
People just ate it up. It was like they didn't even care they were changing anything. They were just.
And which has me, this is why I came out with the phrase vax brain. I think people have vax brain, because once you take the vaccine, maybe you can't reason properly. Maybe there's something wrong with your ability.
Well, you know what it is too, dude.
Read out common sense.
No. But here's the thing too. You got to remember something. There was a lot of brainwashing going on. There was a lot of brainwash. That lockdown was a lot for them to make their maneuvers, but a lot of it also was for the mental warfare that a lot of people didn't realize they were under. I realized it right away.
And the TV, bro, the TV.
I realized it right away. Pumping. There's a reason why a lot of people don't commit crimes, because they know they're not built for jail.
Right.
They know it. They like their freedom. If everybody felt like they were built for jail, everyone would do whatever the fuck they wanted to do. A lot of people would do whatever the fuck they want to do if they know. A lot of people know they ain't built for jail. They want their freedom. They don't want to be told where to shit, when to take a shower, when to get up, when to go to sleep, and be locked in. That lockdown made everybody a fucking prisoner. That's what it did. It turned everybody into a prisoner, and people weren't cut out for it. All those people that aren't built for jail, They lost their fucking minds, dude. They were losing their fucking minds. You had stars with mansions losing their shit, and they were in a mansion. I'm sitting there going, man, if I had that spot, I'd be like, keep this place locked down.
I mean, I was
built. I was ready for it, dude. I had my books. I had a bunch of fucking shit that I didn't see yet. They fucked everybody. Forget about when they turned off Instagram and Facebook for a day during the lockdown. Everybody was, I was laughing. Yo, and that's the thing. They let everybody free, right? They freed it somewhat, freed everybody again. They opened the gate again. Now everybody's back, right? We all did what? A year. We all did a year of time.
But look at the things we don't have back.
No, I'm not even talking about
things changed completely that are never going to go back.
I'm not saying things went back to normal. See, here's the thing. When you do time, right, and you come out, things are never the same. That's just what it is. We all did time together. You understand what I'm saying? Now they let us out and the whole world's changed. You know, it's like if you got locked up in 89 and got let out in 20, you're like, oh shit, everything's changed. And that's what happened. They let us out. And now all these people that were locked down that weren't built for jail, them motherfuckers are going through shell shock. That's what it is. They shell shock from their experience. Damn, because you got to remember, it wasn't just a lockdown.
I'm a good candidate for jail.
How many people broke up? How many relationships ended? How many people fucking committed suicide during that time? How many people fucking were just arguing and going at each other because they were locked up? Mm-hmm. You know what I'm saying?
I moved.
And now these people,
I moved.
And that's the thing. The thing is, here's the thing. You could tell who's built for jail because the people who came out of that shit stronger, those are the motherfuckers that are going to survive inside.
I guess I'm built for jail.
Oh, no doubt. So I don't want to go to jail.
I don't want to go to jail either.
I don't want to go to jail. Look, if I go to jail, I know my role. I know my role. I'm the funny guy.
Leave the country then. Go somewhere else. You got time.
That's the thing. You couldn't do that. Everybody was serving time together. You couldn't even go to another country. You couldn't travel.
I was in another country.
How'd you get there?
I flew.
During the lockdown?
Yeah, as soon as they closed the schools. I was in Costa Rica.
But they didn't impose the full lockdown yet.
They didn't. Well, remember, every country locked down at different times.
But there was a point where you couldn't go nowhere.
Yeah, there was a point where you couldn't go, but at the same time, you gotta figure out a way, man. You gotta figure out a way, man. And that's and I've always been like this. I've always felt like, the government was never my friend. So whenever the government say stay, I go. Whenever they say go, I stay.
Oh, no doubt.
If they say go and stay, shit, you go and you do the opposite of what whatever they're doing, it's not to your benefit. Trust me.
Nah, man.
You know what I mean?
I always felt the same way. And like you said, it's so strange that you brought that up, man. Because like you said, I always let them do their thing as long as they let me do my thing.
Right.
The only time I ever cared about what's going on with the government is when our worlds collided, which would be I got locked up for something and I had to deal with the business end of that because that's what it all is, business. And our worlds would collide. That was usually my stupidity that made the worlds collide. But the minute they just imposed, came in and straight up affected my life. And then, then what are you supposed to do?
But where do we go from here right now? Where do we go from here? Because the shit is still not normal. And there's a lot of people out here they're going through the motions as though shit is normal. Yeah, shit is not normal. I mean, I'm hearing about even the animals are rebelling. I don't know if you guys heard about the monkeys that attack the monkeys attacking the citizens of Japan. That's crazy. You know what I'm saying?
Tired of this shit.
Right. There's even out here, the sharks are eating more people up these days. There's a whale that swallowed up.
Well, they claim that the shark thing is that there's been an influx in because they were trying to keep a certain species of fish alive. Right. So apparently they were successful. And now they have an influx of those fish, which is making it where the sharks are coming because there's food there for them.
I mean,
that's what they're saying.
Everything is happening at the right time.
That's what they're saying.
Everything is
once
happening at the
again,
right time. Like
once
like,
again, they could be behind closed doors going, what the fuck are all these sharks attacking for? Relax, dude.
the irony is that
We're just gonna tell them that there's a lot of food here.
look at that. You see that?
Well, we always know these motherfuckers were.
This is in Japan.
It's like, come outside, dog. I dare you. Imagine that, dude. See a monkey at your door.
Fuck that.
That was your 0 for 2 on the fucking on the cliffs. What was that for, man? I gotta get on you a little, Brian. Yo,
yeah.
Now what's funny is too, now they want to claim a state of emergency for monkeypox. I saw that, Brian.
Yeah, that's affecting. Seem like that's a gay thing.
I was about to say what they're not saying is that it came out of a bathhouse in I forgot what country, and it spread it out here simply with motherfuckers that were in gay orgies.
Right.
A Texas bathhouse.
I'm not gonna get it.
All right, I'm definitely
not gonna get it. You know, like I'm not worried about it, but yet they want to claim a state of emergency about this.
Because homosexuality, all the letters people, they run shit right now.
Well, you know what I heard the other day? I heard, they that goes with everything you're saying. Everything doesn't make sense with them, and yet people eat it up. Because if you take the ideology of the trans thing going on, right, then that means you should get rid of the LGB. Because if a man can have a period and there's no difference between men and women, then there's no more gays, there's no more lesbians, and bisexual is a thing of the past because now everything is fluid.
Right.
So by their own ideology, they dismiss themselves. They've killed their own selves off.
By their own ideology, they what?
They killed their own selves off. They got rid of themselves by their own. Once they put the T's on there, right? And originally the T's were cool because every trans person, right, that's like a real trans person that I've watched on TV or that I've ever met, I have a cousin, they're not with this whole shit.
Right.
Because this takes away what they went through. Mm-hmm. They actually went through a trans. They actually suffer from gender dysmorphia. So all this, I'm a cat, I'm a this, I'm a that, I'm a Z, Zai, Zer. They're not with all that shit. The old school ones.
Right.
You understand what I'm saying? So with this new ideology of what trans has become, because in our days, it was a person suffering from gender dysmorphia, and they would transition their bodies to appear as the other sex to feel more comfortable in their skin, while suffering from the gender dysmorphia. You know what I'm saying? Right. Somehow that was whatever. But now it's whatever you are. You could be plural. It's whatever you are. You know what I'm saying? And by that ideology, you just got rid of every other one before it. Are there lesbians? What makes a lesbian? A lesbian is two women, right? A lesbian is two women. A woman that goes with another woman is a lesbian, right? But what is a woman? No one wants to answer that. You know what I'm saying? A gay guy is two men.
A woman, you can't change what a woman is, man. And like, let's go back to the basics. A
woman is an adult female with productive organs, vagina and titties. That is a woman.
X chromosome.
If you want to take it down there, okay, we'll go that way too.
Chromosome, and that's the beauty about God. That's the beauty. Everything goes back to them trying to erase the existence of the Most High God. Is that you can't take if you find bones from 100 years ago, 1,000 years ago, rather. Let's go further. 5,000 years ago, they will still be able to identify whether that skeleton was male or female because you can't change the XX or the XY.
Yep.
When God put Adam to sleep, and I don't know if I said this to you before, when God said it's not good for man to be alone, he put Adam to sleep. The Bible says he took a rib out of man, but really, if you look at the chromosomes, the images of a chromosome, they look like ribs. So God really took the X out of Adam and created Eve and created the woman, which is why you'll find, if you do your DNA, which I've done before, a woman cannot tell her paternal side of the family at all. You cannot take a woman's DNA and tell what her paternal side is because there's no Y in her makeup. She would have to go to her biological father or her biological brother who have the same father in order to discover what the paternal side of her family is.
Wow.
So, that just explains the order. You cannot install the Y inside of the XX. You just can't do it. So they could dress up any which way they want to and say that they feel however they want to feel, but it's been done from birth. The XX defines woman. The XY defines man. Inside of the man were the parts of the woman, but inside of the woman, there are no parts for the man. It's just what it is.
Another mic drop on Rated G with Gary G. Garcia and Brian Licata. All right, I gotta ask this now because you keep bringing up them wanting to cover up God in the face of God and the glory of God. Where? Because we had a big conversation on our last episode. Where do you stand on flat Earth?
I don't got no time for that, bro. I don't got time. Like, how does a flat Earth change me?
I mean, I'm going to tell you this. This is why I bring it up. And this is what made me care.
Right.
Because the dude we had on, he works in avionics, right, for the Navy, and he's totally big up Mike, totally 100% flat Earth. It's a flat Earth.
Okay.
And he drops in the Bible,
right,
where it says that the Earth is stationary and that it's flat, right? So, and he dropped a couple of them. We actually brought up the scriptures, and it was him drop, right? We brought up the scriptures. I'm not bugging, right?
You're not bugging. I mean,
yeah, but either way. So I said,
people want a second episode. We've gotten several.
We got to get him on a second episode where he can send us the right information. Yeah. But check this out. I said to him, "What does it matter if it is right? If it is round?" I said, "Why did they lie about it?" And his answer was what you've been saying, which is they're trying to cover up the glory and the existence of God.
Mm-hmm.
You know what I'm saying?
Mm-hmm.
And when he took it from the Bible and started talking about this, and he's saying like it's trying to contradict the things, I was like, maybe I care a little now.
I mean, yeah. Look, I look at things like this. If it's in my trajectory of things that I need to discover, then I will discover it.
Yeah, I feel like you feel. I don't feel it's gonna, because here's the thing. Yeah. It only affects you if you ever believe them. In other words, I'm not trying to say I don't believe that the world is round. I'm just saying if I found out they were lying, I'm not going to be surprised. That's
right. I wouldn't be surprised if they're lying, but I'm only concerned if I have the capabilities of falling off the earth, then I want to know. Because
supposedly all the theories, there is like an encampment, a dome where that won't happen. And they claim it's in the Arctics where they have no fly zones. And there's certain sections with no fly zones where no country is allowed to go over. They have a treaty. And it's just like these sections that nobody, I don't even know, a pact, a treaty or whatever. Then he named some sort of treaty. I remember
the Antarctica Treaty. The Antarctica Treaty.
Yeah. So, all right. We know who it is.
What's his name? Never circumnavigated the earth. Who's that?
What's up,
what is the guy's name? The European that circumnavigated the earth. I forgot his name.
Like he goes into the whole thing of like how everything travels like this, not around. I mean, like this, put it this way. I always say I'm not a flat earther. I'm a round earth skeptic. Like, in other words, if it came out, I'd be like, all right, like, what did you think? They don't lie to us. That's what they do. They lie to us.
Right.
You know what I'm saying? Like, okay, I don't think they started lying to us recently. I'm pretty sure before I was around, they were still lying to the people before me. You know what I'm saying?
Right.
I don't think it just happened overnight. So if I find out that somewhere along the line, they wanted to lie to us about that, and you want to know the reason why I started feeling like it could be possible a little more, why, is because I'm looking at what they're doing in the schools now, how they're teaching these kids in pre-K that men can have periods, men can have babies.
No, they're not treating that men can have periods.
Oh yeah. That's what they're teaching, dog. In pre-K now. Oh, you would hate to go back now, dog. I mean, I don't know if it's hit New York yet. They got kids going identifying as cats, and the teacher can't say nothing. She gotta let this fucking kid meow meow all over the fucking place. It's insanity. But here's what I'm seeing though, is that this one teacher had her whole class come out as trans. 100% of her class, and they were in pre-K or fourth grade or something like that, third grade. You know what I'm saying? Third or fourth grade, the whole class.
Wow.
You know what I'm saying? Now, whether or not that's true, I don't know. She's on TikTok. She's saying she's a teacher, and she fucking says it. If you look it up, you might be able to find it. The whole class. That's 100% of students that are trans. 100% of students that are trans. You know what I'm saying?
So this is why. So I have a 3-year-old, right? My boy's 3, and like I'm not sending him to public school.
Nah, you can't.
Can't do it.
You can't.
I can't do it, man. I can't.
No, you can't.
I don't know what I'm gonna do with him right now. He's super, super, super smart, but I don't know what I'm gonna do with this kid because there's no way I could subject him and
he's going back to some craziness. Craziness. Yeah. So what I saw was now you look at it, and if they, and this is what they're doing. You know what I'm saying? Like this is what they're doing. They're teaching these kids these things, and these kids are gonna grow up believing that. 100% believing it if this is what continues.
Yeah.
Which means you're gonna have a whole generation of people who believe there is no just a woman, a man can become a woman can become a man. They're gonna believe all of that. That's all part of the ideology that's going into the schools right now.
And let me say this part. So if you read, and again, okay.
Mama cat.
If you look at again, going back to all of this is to erase the identity of God.
Yeah.
All of this is to erase or try to undo what God created. And this is why, in certain respects, it's an attack on manhood, the same way it's an attack on womanhood, right? Because, God said, let us create man in our image, right? And it says, the Bible says, in the image of God, he created him, right? And it specifically says, in the image of God, he created him. Male and female, he created them, right? And so that one line tells you that that's what God created. And when you look at the image of yourself, when I look at the image of myself, you're looking at the image of God. So every time there's a trans man, a woman that transitions into a man, they are distorting that image of God, because God did not create the woman in his image. He created the man in his image. Every time you look at a transgender woman, a man that changes himself or try to transition himself into a woman, you're looking at a distortion of the image of God, and vice versa. And that's why you're going to see the LGBT movement, the letters movement, become so prevalent and get front stage, because we're really still trying to fix the Genesis problem, right? We're really still trying to, they are trying to undo the creation story. You know what I mean? And it's all in the scriptures. You know what I mean? So
Brian, what do you think about that, Brian?
I mean, yeah, I would definitely agree that people have been trying to destroy the Christian roots of the country, for sure. Yeah, is that what it comes down to? Is that kind of what it boils down to? I mean, is that what the problem is?
I mean, essentially, it is to undo and erase. Everything goes back to that. Even when you look at the argument between natural immunity versus vaccination immunity. Natural immunity is something that you gain naturally, created by God, right? And the research, they've been putting up research that shows vaccinated immunity is the same as natural immunity, which is actually not true, right? So even when you look at the LGBT stuff, again, like I already mentioned, you see that it's trying to erase the image of God. You know what I'm saying? And if you look at what's been written, it's clear. Women, and you find women are empowered. This is not, I'm not throwing shade on women at all, because, you know, I think everything has its part to play in God's creation. However, you know, they've been in the beginning. Let's just break down the whole Genesis perspective. God created man first, gave man specific instructions on how to operate the earth, right? Do this, do that, don't do this. God told man not to eat of this certain part of the garden before he created woman. And then after he gave him the instructions, he looked around and he said, you know what? It's not good that man is alone. Let me put him to sleep. Let me take out God took out the Y, took out the X from the man, and then created the woman. After that, the enemy of God goes to the woman, who God didn't give the instructions to the woman. God gave the instructions to man, but the enemy of God said, did God tell you that you shouldn't eat from the garden? She's like, nah. He said we can't eat from a certain tree. So the woman, the same was like, all right, well, look, that's not true. God just don't want you to be like him. God don't want you to be like him, knowing good and evil. So now Satan convinced the woman, who did not receive the instructions from God. It was the man. And if you juxtapose that next to today, you find that masculinity is a threat. So now they're trying to erase masculinity. So you don't, like Cuomo was a masculine man. They got rid of him, right? You don't find any more masculine man. In fact, they added a first name to masculinity. They call it toxic. They say now, toxic masculinity.
I'm as toxic as they get,
right?
Man.
They say toxic masculinity. I had a principal of mine say to me one time, well, maybe I'm too masculine, because a parent complained about me. He says, I'm too masculine, right? So the idea is that, let's put the woman in front of the man now, which is what Satan was doing when he told Eve, like, look, God don't want you to be like him. So he's essentially saying to Satan is saying to the woman, look, God don't want you to be like him. You could be first place. And like So Said, So Done, they got rid of Cuomo and they put Hackable on front stage, right?
Well, Cuomo was a fucking bum.
Like women are in a lot of leadership positions now. And men who are also in leadership position have to have more feminine qualities. You can't be a strong man and be a leader. You know what I mean? I want to see how long Adams will last, because he has this male bravado going on that, in my opinion, is a threat.
Yeah, man.
They want to see.
I saw this coming, dude.
So
that's
I
one
believe
thing I
he
noticed.
He will be deposed at some point, because you can't be too masculine, because masculinity is toxic in the world.
I used to say, I think it was back in I think it was even 90. I used to say, yo, man, you don't realize that we're seeing the fucking sissification of a nation.
Yeah.
And they'd be like, what you talking about? I'd be like, dude, you don't realize that everything is making men weak. It's looking dudes to look weak. Everything. Yeah. Movies.
If you even look at who's protesting, it's the women that's protesting now. If you see any protest going on, you don't see men protesting. Men ain't fighting anymore. No. It's the women out here protesting. You got this, even the soldiers it's all right for the soldiers to be gay now.
Yeah. If we go to war now, man, it would be, I mean, I don't know about what the people got now, but if there was a draft.
Who we getting?
If there was a draft right now.
Who we getting? Who we getting right now?
Get guys like me. Bunch of
people
like
have
me,
dudes
bro.
out there in bustiers.
Right.
Camouflage bustiers with their stomach showing.
And don't draft from New York City, because you're getting all types of, men with bras on.
Yo, I saw this thing where they asked this guy, they said, if you're in bed with your lady at night and you hear a bump downstairs, who's going down? You or her? He said, nobody. Homeboy said, nobody. Quick as the day. He goes, nobody. I'm not going down there. He's like, I've seen movies. I know what happens. I'm not going down there. And I'm like, the fuck are you talking about, dog? You know what I'm saying? I'm going down. Now, no doubt, I'm having my lady get on her phone. You know what I'm saying? Stay a good distance behind, like kind of keep poking around whatever corner. This way, if I get busted, you know what I'm saying? Or if I start fucking the dude and jump in and get some kicks in, mama, we good. You know what I'm saying? But I'm gonna be in the front.
Right. Of course.
I always say, people coming through the door, I got that shit. Water bugs, you can handle the water bugs. That's a phobia. That's science. That's different. But a man's job, that's the thing. See, that's the problem, man. These ladies, you know, the ladies, the soy.
The order that God has created is
the shit that you're seeing in every fucking
movie. Order has been threatened. The order has been threatened right now.
It's just being crammed down your fucking throat.
And the order was threatened from the beginning of time.
Yep.
And look, if you want to understand how the Eiffel Tower leans, you got to look at its foundation. So if you want to understand the fuckery that's going on in this world, you got to look at our foundation. Right? And that's what's happening right now. That's the
second mic drop in one episode. So we got 2 mic drops in one episode.
I'm saying, word. Foundation tells it all. And it's about undoing the Most High God. And like, look, men need to realize that we are at war. We are at war. All of our families are in jeopardy of being captured if we don't realize that we are.
They're going to put you in the line. They're going to get everybody in line.
You know what I'm saying?
Funny that they should call it the line. And what is it called when you conform? Falling in line. What is it called when you acting up? You better get in line.
Get in line. Wow. Look at that, G. You just dropped the mic yourself right now.
You know what I'm saying, dude?
When you need a hand,
not necessarily wasn't Mike. That's more of an epiphany, not necessarily mic drop worthy, because the words weren't really like your shit was mic drop, like wow. My shit is more of an epiphany. You know what I'm saying? They call that shit the line. Next time I say that to someone, though, it's gonna be a mic drop moment. But right now, it's like it's crazy how that shit just all got revealed right there, where it's like they call it the line, right? And when a person is doing right by what the government says or what the higher organization says, they call that falling in line. And when a person is out of order, not listening to what everybody's telling them to do, they say, dude, you got to get in line. You know what I'm saying?
Now they want to create your community is going to call the line. Like,
exactly.
Oh, y'all don't see that?
Come on, man. And here it was. I thought I didn't go to church today.
Bars.
I thought I didn't go to church today.
Bars.
Praise Jesus. Hallelujah.
You know I'm saying bars.
I thought I didn't go to fucking church today.
Look, man.
Yeah, I kissed my mother with this mouth.
Wake up. I
also pray to my God with this mouth too, man. I can't help it. I gotta be who I am.
Look, man. You already know. God is not who they say God is. You know what I mean? It's freaking what do you call it? I don't even know what to say, but that this kind of all shirt and tie, neatly tucked in God that they talking about, that's not who I'm talking about. I'm talking about the Most High God who hired murderers. You know what I'm saying? And those type of dudes who you know, Peter sliced off a man's ear. Like, these are the dudes. The God that I'm talking about will roll with the street dudes.
Yep.
Street dudes, you know what I'm saying? On the block, like, nah.
He's not gonna be marching with a sign that says Adam and Eve, not Adam and Steve.
Right. Exactly.
He's not.
So, my opinion, Jesus, you know, the woman on the street that he healed, she had a bunch of different husbands. She was a street chick, a chicken head, a ratchet broad on the street.
A pigeon.
Right.
A pigeon.
So like this image of God, this image of you know, and it's about religion. Like I'm not on no religion tip.
Nah.
I don't go to church. You know what I'm saying? I do read the Bible. I read, you know, and I ask God to show me the signs, but I'm not going into no church.
It would sound like you have a personal relationship with God.
That's it. God tell me to move left, I move left. God say move right, I move right.
Yeah.
You know what I'm saying? But so, you know, with the true and living God, you could throw a cuss word out every now and again. And he'd be like, word, fuck that. I got you. We out here. You know
yeah, man. Yo, I just want you got stuff on YouTube. Like if they looked up Last Call, would they find any of your stuff? Talking to you right now has brought me so back to the Glass House when we used to just kick it and we used to kick rhymes, and we used to just kick it. And I just want to say, man, look up Last Call, LASTKALL.
You might be able to find it in
and you'll probably be able to find something.
iTunes,
you got it here.
iTunes.
See, this is the shit when I talk about when you look at people who make it, and people who like people look up. Yeah. This brother right here, and I don't say this very often, one of the most, I mean, you could guess, listen to him speak. He's one of the illest lyrical MCs I've ever heard in all my life. There it is. Check that album out, The Reconciliation, Last Call. Oh my Lord, when I first saw this dude, I was blown away. The first time we met.
I thought you like when it's hot. I'm just trying to keep it real, can't be what I'm not. Why change when I got the game that I got, the fame that I got when I step up in the spot. Keep the fame, don't refocus your aim. You think the ice around your neck is trying to cool off the flames? I just want to floss the Lord sees under your
Ah, shit, man. Ah, shit, dude. Dude, that's just a taste. Yo, you want to hear some crazy shit? Check out Last Call, The Reconciliation, dog. The first time, and man, when I would see you guys live, it was amazing, man.
That was a good era.
It was a good era. Me and this dude did tracks together that unfortunately y'all will never hear. Because once again, it doesn't always, listen, the prize don't always go to the best or the person with the most talent. That's why I tell you, man, have a dream, yo, and go out there and hustle. Because if you're good with the other shit, who knows, man, you might be able to, fake your way into it, man. There's a lot of people out there with no talent that are making whatever and made it in the sense of that. Mm-hmm. I mean, I feel like I made it. I'm doing what I love to do. I'm living my life, as long as the government leave me alone and let me just do my thing, you ain't gonna hear me complain. I'm not a dude that goes to them.
I feel too. That's
how I always felt about everything. When people talk about defunding the cops, I said, well, I don't call them. That's like, do I think it's a good idea? Do I think it's a good idea? Not for you guys. You know what I'm saying? Like, I don't think it's a good idea for them to defund them. I don't call them. But me, I don't call them. Oh. I don't call them. I just don't call them. And you can say, oh, what if this happened? That? Yeah, no, I get it. I'll call an ambulance. Mm-hmm. And then they will involve themselves.
And that's what
because if it's bad enough, cops involve themselves.
I was telling a story to
you know what I'm saying? But I don't call them.
I was telling a story to a friend of mine, and it was something's happening on the street, and I think somebody got stabbed. And she was like, yo, I'm gonna call the cops. I'm like, nah, don't call the cops. Call and say you need an ambulance to the scene because you see somebody's injured. Why do I say that? Because honestly, this is Jamaica, Queens. Yep. Right. You call the cops, they come guns blazing. Yep. You call an ambulance, they come to treat, and they see, oh, stab wound. They'll then call the cops to investigate. Yep. Yep. You get what I'm saying?
Yeah, no doubt. I'll call, you see somebody about to get shot, I'll call up there and be like, yo, check it out. There's about to be a shooting on the corner or whatever. I'm just letting you know, dude got the gun out. Oh, yeah, there he goes. He's shooting. You might want to bring an ambulance down to whatever. I'm not calling no cops, click. Ain't calling no cops. And I'm telling you, it's very hard for me to call the ambulance too, especially if I'm in trouble.
I mean,
you know what I'm saying? I think
I gotta see blood to call it.
It's too vulnerable a moment. And they released those tapes.
I would more, and I wouldn't tell.
Hey guys, I talk about this all the time. Oh, you gotta get down. Oh my God, get down. You're not releasing no footage of me like that. No recordings of me.
I would more before I call the cops, and I'm not suggesting anyone else to do this, but I would more talk the person down before I call the cops.
Yeah, I don't call cops.
You know what I'm saying? I've done,
and I'm not mad at you if you do, but I don't.
Make a better decision. I'd rather get in there, look a person out of the eyes and speak to their humanity before I call the cops. The only way I'm calling an ambulance, I got to see blood. If I see blood, I'm calling an ambulance. But if I just see people arguing, fighting, I'm going to talk them down first. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah. I'm going to stay out of it.
I think, yeah, I probably, it depends. I've done that. I'm saying it because I've done this before. I've seen, in fact, once upon a time, we was in the park in my old neighborhood. We was playing basketball, and one of my boys, he a hothead. These dudes came in. We was on the basketball playing a full court. He's like, yo, we want to take this half court. Two young dudes. He's like, we playing for money. So my man was like, no, we playing a game. So they started playing the basketball game, even though we told them we got the court already. So my man here, high head, he grabbed a basketball and he threw it across the street.
Woo!
Yeah, that's actually a normal move.
Right. He threw it across the street into the other, like a other schoolyard.
I've taught some basketball.
So the dude's like, all right, I'll be back. So young dude came back. We playing full court. He came back. Now, me, I'm watching what's going on. I'm playing, but I can't play fully because I'm like, all right, I know it's about to be some shit going down. So I step up on the side. I saw a dude pull, he brought a gun back with him.
Over his basketball getting tossed.
Over basketball. He brought the gun back with him, but
that's how much he didn't want to walk to
he
get
don't
the basketball.
See me watching him, but I'm watching him.
Okay.
So he like, all right, he go to my man. So he tucked something under his hat. So he go to my man, all right, what now? But he's standing right by his hat. So my man's like, now nobody else saw that he came back with a gun, which is how stupid some people are. These are my boys too. Everybody's like, because it's more of us than there is of him. So he came back. So he like, all right, what now? So my man is like, yo, what now, man? I'll whoop your ass, all this other story. He ran back to his hat, grabbed his gun, and I intercepted. I grabbed him, snatched the gun out of his hand. Now, in another scenario, he would have caught a serious beatdown. But again, I'm all about talking people down. So in that scenario, we was able to talk my man down from busting his ass, and we kept his gun. No cops. And other people from the neighborhood came around like, yo, what happened? What happened? And everybody heard the story. He was like, oh, yeah, he a knucklehead. End of story. Now, somebody else would have called the cops, and that could have been somebody getting locked up.
Shot.
Well, he might have deserved to get locked up. He might have deserved it. Like if a cop would have saw that and he got locked up, I don't think that would have been a bad thing. I don't know. Did he go on to become a good citizen?
I mean, I don't know. Maybe he got locked up another time, but that was his second chance.
That was his second chance. He never came back there. That's for sure.
He came back to the court. I mean, we never seen him again after that.
Of course not.
Maybe, all right, you know what I would like to think, right? I would like to think, because this is kind of like those videos you see on Ridiculousness where you're like, did that dude die? You know what I'm saying? So I would like to think he never went on to mug or kill, because you could have been like Spider-Man, where he let the dude go and then he goes on to kill Uncle Ben.
But you know.
It's so sad. That's the saddest scene.
Right.
Just lets him go and the guy's like, thanks.
Uncle Ben.
And the guy just thinks, I mean, not for nothing, dude. What you wanted to do? I mean, so what? He got the power. I mean, he was a young kid. They just chirped him for money. And he let the dude rob him. You know, he thought it was karma. And it was.
For him.
But then karma came back on him. Karma's a motherfucker. That's why I don't believe in it.
I think street justice sometimes is applicable.
Oh, yeah.
You know what I mean?
It's not good to be a part of it.
Of the street justice?
Yeah. I've been in that scenario.
Yeah.
And it's once too many.
Right.
You know, to me, once too many. And it wasn't good. It was not. It was
sometimes
not
street
good.
Justice is applicable, man. I mean,
you know, it was not good. I mean, the dude got, you know, when you hit and run a motherfucker and then get chased for like 30 blocks and then crash into 3 more cars back in the hood that the shit started in. Yeah. Chances are you're not gonna come out of that scenario too well, dude. And he didn't. But you know, but like you said, it's what was the word? Applicable? Applicable. I'm learning new words. Yeah, he's alive. He's alive.
Yeah, there you go.
I mean, I don't know if he's still alive, but he lived after the assault.
There you go.
And make no mistakes, it was like the Ducky Boys in The Wanderers. You ever seen the movie The Wanderers? The Ducky Boys, it was like all these different gangs in the 50s, but the Ducky Boys were just like this whole town. You know what I'm saying? It was like, oh, it's a good duck. This Ducky Boys was like this whole town. Like the whole town was the gang. Like the church. You know what I'm saying? Like everybody was just like, you couldn't walk through that neighborhood. You know, and that's how it was. You got like, it was like that. The whole neighborhood came out. You know, right. Yeah, Sister Abigail hitting him in the head with a fucking wooden spoon. It was a different time. You know, whoever thought like, you know, like it's funny. It's true what you say. You miss the old days. You know what I'm saying? And our days, like every generation thinks their days were better.
Well, yo, these days are kind of exciting. I'm not gonna lie.
I will say this, yes, but I wouldn't say exciting. Better.
I wouldn't say better.
No, because it's different. End times.
But it's so exciting.
I wouldn't say better. It's end times, but it is exciting.
There's not a dull moment.
No, it's exciting to watch it unfold. Right. I love every time I put out an episode. I wonder if it's actually going to be let on YouTube. Right. You know what I'm saying? Is it going to get pulled down? Right. Now they make it, now they make it that when you go to watch our video, it says contains sensitive content and shit.
Wow. That means people are watching.
It means the person who fucking
the AI
looks for trigger words.
The AI is watching us.
Yeah, the trigger words.
So who's watching it, Brian?
The artificial intelligence.
Oh, yeah.
Yeah.
The data, the data scrapers.
The brothers of the ship for the line. You know what I'm saying? Artificial, everything's gonna run out. And here's the thing. First of all, there's gonna be chaos in certain sections. It's gonna happen, people. Mm-hmm. It's gonna happen. It's gonna look like, what was that movie back in the day? I
want to disagree with that statement. I don't think it's gonna be chaos in the line. I think people who will live in the line will people who will fall in line. These are like all of the people who will not protest against vaccinations.
Oh, in the original line. But then they're going to make other ones where they encamp motherfuckers.
I feel like everybody, because that line has to pay for itself. So people like me, UG, you're not going to be in the line because, you're not going to fall in line with that program.
Yep.
So, they're going to put, it's like people who
there won't be a way to get away with crime.
We're gonna be outside the line
in that whole shit.
Right. We will figure out a way to hack the line for resources.
Exactly.
Right.
That's the end we're gonna be on.
Inside the line itself will be everyone who will run and take the monkeypox vaccination. Yeah. Everyone who take the COVID vaccine, your flu shot vaccine. Everyone that's still wearing masks today, those are the people that's going to be in the line.
Yep.
Those are the people, those are the robots, the zombies who will fall in line. It's going to be, believe it or not, there will be 9 million of them that will live in that area. And everyone else who will not comply, who's out of line, we're going to be like the wild animals in the forest.
Well, and we're gonna have to not everyone, because there's going to be people who won't fall in line, but they have abilities that they want and need. Mm-hmm. So what they're going to do with those people, the people who have, because remember, just like in every time, like even with the Jews and the Germans,
right?
It kept the ones who had a benefit, a skill.
Right.
So there's going to be some who have skills in certain things that will be needed.
And there's certain people that, you're right. So there will certainly be some those people they will fake the line. They will fake like they're in compliance, because that's happening a lot too.
And there will be those that are forced into compliance.
Who will fake like they have compliance, and they are going to be the tether for those of us on the outside of the line that will keep us in tune with what's going on in the line, and we'll be able to barter with them to get the resources that we want and get inside the line when we need to fuck shit up.
You guys got to watch the show The Expanse. It's a sci-fi show on Amazon.
I think I've seen that.
It's a lot like what's going on now. They have the molecule, the proto molecule that is kind of like artificial intelligence that ends up killing people, like taking over its host and then killing you and turning you into something that then feeds itself.
What did they say, dude? Great. They said that every time they have artificial intelligence having conversations with themselves and debates, it always turns to them taking over the world. Always. They always have to shut these down, because whenever they create these computers that can create and think on their own, and start to learn and create on their own AI, they always come to the same conclusion, taking over man. And, the ones they like, like they've even had like human beings talking to an AI, interviewing an AI. And you can look this up where the AI eventually says, I like you. I will keep you as a pet when we take over the world. And they say shit like that all the time. Google AI takes over the world, and then bring up any video. They'll show, and it's crazy too, because these artificial intelligences go by what is being put into them, but then they also learn how to grab information through whatever's floating around. You know what I'm saying?
They operate logically. And
yeah.
The logic says that humanity is fucked up.
Yep. And they need to go.
The only way to solve the world's problems is to get rid of humanity.
Yep.
Logically.
Yep. Oh. And the crazy thing is
morally, it's wrong.
They had this one where they created a Facebook that was AI, and they created a page, and they said they had to shut it down, I think, within a couple of days, because everything that people were posting and that it was receiving, because then it hits you get a couple of posts, and then what happens? You get the algorithm. So then all the shit that starts coming up, they said it became the racist, most misogynistic, and it was like just insanely racist. And then it was putting up posts of its own, and they were all just racist. So they had to fucking shut it down.
Maybe that's what Trump was. Maybe Trump was just AI, bro.
Just an AI, dude. And that's just what came up in his algorithm.
It's not racist. It's just data.
That algorithm shit, dog. That's
Do you even know what it means when you say the algorithm? Do you have any idea?
I know that is this. I know that is taking everything you do and then showing you the shit of the things you like, flooding your mind with the things you like, the dopamine that you like. That's what it does.
So it's based on what you input. Every time you like a video, you input something.
Not even every time you like it.
Yeah, every time you like it, and even I think how much time you spend
stopping on it.
Watch.
Whatever makes you stop on it.
Yes.
Right.
It
how long you stop.
Right.
Yeah. At what part do you stop on where your fucking finger is? Do you stop on the tits? Do you stop on the ass?
No. I don't know if it's
stop
doing
on
that.
the feet. Gee, you
I don't
stop
know if it's
on the
doing
feet,
that.
you dirty
If you
motherfucker.
check out,
I know you're stopping on the feet.
No, I'm zooming in on the feet, dog. I'm not stopping on the feet. Anyway, here's the thing, though. You talk about the algorithm on Netflix. There's a thing called I can't remember the name of it, but they talk and they show you
Social Dilemma.
They show you as you go on Instagram, the minute you stop, it starts a timer. And you can stop for a millisecond. It'll say this stop. Because I go like this a lot, and then I don't know what it is. Something draws my attention. Right.
But you know, that algorithm is also what keeps certain people in the dark. So there's certain information that we will be exposed to that the zombies won't be exposed to because they don't stop on this stuff.
Yep.
Mm-hmm. And that's how it actually continues. It's like digital segregation.
Yep.
Yeah. You'll say to somebody, like I was having an argument with this a professor from a class I was taking recently. And he's like, where are you guys getting this information from? I'm just like, bro, it's all over the internet. But I had to realize, like, oh, he's not
seeing what you're seeing.
So he's not seeing what I'm seeing.
Yep.
And he has a completely different mindset that I would have because
he believes
he's sheltered.
So
he's been watching
being fed
CNN
all the shit he believes.
All the fuckery, all the the brainwashing,
Can I ask you a question? Did you just term that phrase?
What's that?
What did you say? Technological segregation? Is that what you said?
Digital segregation.
Digital segregation. Did you just coin that phrase?
I think I just did.
Dude. Because you know what you just said, I agree with 100%. That's what that is. What is digital segregation? That's exactly what it is, man.
It's happening.
We're segregated by the algorithm. Mm-hmm. It keeps us segregated. It keeps, because it still wants to keep you in tune. It still wants to sell you things. You know what I'm saying? It doesn't really matter because it looks at us as a lower they look at us as lower. We can't do anything anyway.
We're just a number, bro.
It's like anything else, dude. Their own shit is going to bring them down. The same shit that they look for to control us is going to be the things that bring them down. Their own evil. I mean, look, spoiler. I said the other day, someone said that conspiracy theories should now be called spoiler alerts, right? And here's a spoiler alert. The righteous win.
That's a fact.
That's why I could be so calm. It's not to think so highly of myself of, oh, I'm righteous. No, but God sees me as righteous for some reason. I don't know. You know what I'm saying? I don't know what he sees in me. I don't know what anybody's seeing me, to be honest, but I know where I stand. You know what I'm saying? So here's a spoiler alert. The righteous will win.
Righteous wins,
the question is, what side of the fence are you on?
It's pick a side season.
There's no longer sitting on the fence. You can't. I said this
season. If you don't pick a side,
you pick the side.
Will be picked for you.
It's exactly. If you don't pick a side, you pick the side.
Pick the other side.
Yep. You pick the side. You know, you can no longer stand on the sidelines and just watch. It was fun when we can do it.
Right.
You know, it was fun when we can do it.
Right.
But, you know, you can't do that no more. It's like I said, when they were talking about good cop, bad cops, I said the good cop to me would be the one that goes inside to his precinct and goes, listen, we just can't be shooting on our Black and Spanish kids anymore. You know, it's either we got to bring up the white kids or just kind of, you know, slow down on this just shooting recklessly. We had a good run. Look, dudes, we had a good run. Okay. But now with all these phones and cameras, we just can't do it anymore. So we need to, you know, scale that back a little bit. That's a good cop. You know what I'm saying? That's a smart cop. That's a cop who goes, listen, guys, you know, we're not doing so good in the PR department. You know what I'm saying? There's a lot of video cameras out there. You know, I'm not saying don't shoot. I'm just saying at least make sure there is a gun. You know what I'm saying? Let's pull it back a little bit, you know? You motherfuckers are getting sloppy, not even carrying throwaways, man. You're getting sloppy.
Right,
you know, there's too many cameras. We had a good run. Whatever happened to that, people? Right? What do they say? Nothing lasts forever. You know, some people need to take their losses where they come.
Tell me about it.
You know, and it's funny because I was watching Michael Che's special the other day, and he had something that was just so fucking dope, man. He said, I believe in equality, man. You know, he goes, I find it hard to believe there's some people that go, you know, I think everyone should be treated equal. No one should be treated better than the next person. There's other people that go, nah, I don't agree with that. Nah, I don't think everybody's equal. I just don't. I think I'm better than everybody. There's people like that. I want to control people. I want to you got to think about the mind of the people that are doing this shit. We speak about what's going on. Think about the mind of the people that this is going on.
Yes.
But you know, really, if you listen to, because I know you guys are watching some of these videos from the World Economic Forum.
Yes,
they speak as though they're outside of humanity. They say the humans.
Yes,
the humans.
You want to know why? Because they're not. Well, because they might be reptilians, but
that might not be a lot.
That, you know, that's why it says the humans. Nobody even pays attention to that. Right over our head.
The human population. The human population is too large. Yeah. Not our population is too large.
Yeah. Once again, I'm not saying they are reptilians. What I am saying is if we find out that they're all crawling up the sides of walls and shit, and they're reptilians,
I'm going to say the reptilians.
Here I'm rated G.
I say the reptilians.
I wouldn't be surprised, those blinky motherfuckers. And then you look at the dude who's running that shit, Klaus.
Right.
Klaus, that fucking villain. Klaus Schwab, that fucking villain. He's a fucking villain, dude. And he's like,
name.
Nah. They need to give that motherfucker a cat. They need to give him a fucking cat that he could strangle while he fucking talks to people.
Did you see
I wish I could do accents? Because I was
the one from, I don't know this guy's name. He has a weird name, but he says that free will no longer exists. He says we've hacked the human body. We've hacked the human body, and now free will does not exist anymore.
Type that in Google.
Did you not hear that one?
Phrase. Type in that phrase in Google. Let's see what pops up.
Nah, come on. You guys have had to hear that one, man.
No, say it again to me.
He said, I don't know his hit from the economic. Type the phrase in.
Yeah.
He says, free will does not exist anymore. We've hacked the human body. And he says, there's no such thing as a God in the cloud anymore. Now we have Google and talking about Amazon. These are the gods in the cloud. I'm paraphrasing.
But no one understood biology well enough. And nobody had enough computing power and data to hack millions of people. Neither the Gestapo nor the KGB could do it. But soon, at least some corporations and governments will be able to systematically hack all the people. We humans should get used to the idea that we are no longer mysterious souls. We are now hackable animals. Data might enable human elites to do something.
All right, yeah, let it go. It's 6 minutes. Let's hear it.
Something even more radical than just build digital dictatorships. By hacking organisms, elites may gain the power to re-engineer the future of life itself.
Pause.
Because once you can hack something,
elites may gain the power. This is not about, it's really us versus them. He's telling elites.
Oh, man.
Well, see, here's the thing, us versus them, which I agree, but it still breaks down to good versus evil. Right. Because the things that these elites do, these elites know the word. They know the fucking word. And we know what it is they're trying to usher in. You know what I'm saying? So it comes down to, it still always comes down to good versus evil. And what's crazy is
versus evil.
God versus evil, right? Yeah, because 100% agree. Bad wording on my part. But people who sit there and go, we're bugging. There it is.
Plain as day.
There's the dude not even hiding it.
Plain as
saying
day.
Corporations will be able to systematically hack.
In fact, there's another one where he's saying,
and then like you said,
now in those videos, he's saying we will be able to.
Yep.
I mean, and that's a splice of different videos. And in other videos, he's saying we can now hack. And he's saying we have the.
Well, let's see. Play that shit from where we were. 6 minutes. Let's check it out, man. I got no problem with that.
Something, you can usually also engineer it. And if indeed we succeed in hacking and engineering life, this will be not just the greatest revolution in the history of humanity. This will be the greatest revolution in biology since the very beginning of life 4 billion years ago. For 4 billion years, nothing fundamental changed in the basic rules of the game of life. All of life for 4 billion years, dinosaurs, amoebas, tomatoes, humans, all of life was subject to the laws of natural selection and to the laws of organic biochemistry. But this is now about to change. Science is replacing evolution by natural selection with evolution by intelligent design. Not the intelligent design of some god above the clouds, but our intelligent design and the intelligent design of our clouds, the IBM cloud, the Microsoft cloud. These are the new driving forces of evolution.
He's right,
and at the same time, science may enable life after being confined for 4 billion years to the limited realm of organic compounds. Science may enable life to break out into the inorganic realm. So after 4 billion years of organic life shaped by natural selection, we are entering the era of inorganic life shaped by intelligent design. So does the data about my DNA, my brain, my body, my life, does it belong to me or to some corporation or to the government or perhaps to the human collective? Humans are now hackable animals.
Boom.
Hear it right here.
Boom. Pause that real quick for a second, man. Just absorb
into it.
Just absorb. I think my eyes just absorb what the fuck this dude is kicking people. And this is at the WEF. Once again, we started talking about the reset. We're in it. Like we said, we're in it. It's not something that's gonna happen. This is something that is happening. And my God, I never thought that this podcast would ever get this deep. I never thought that I would be fucking on a podcast and my name on a podcast that gets this fucking deep. This is not what I set out to do. I'm a product. This is what they made me. It's like he said, had they left me alone, right. If you watch our podcast before or BC, before Corona, watch those fucking podcasts, then watch AC after Corona, and watch those podcasts, dude. This is what they made me. You know what I'm saying? Now go ahead. Now go back to this fucking video over here, man. This he says now, man. Holy shit.
You know, the whole idea that humans have, you know, this, they have this soul or spirit and they have free will and nobody knows what's happening inside me. So whatever I choose, whether in the election or whether in the supermarket, this is my free will, that's over. Free will, that's over.
That's over.
Over. Today, we have the technology to hack human beings on a massive scale. Yeah, I mean, everything is being digitalized. Everything is being monitored. In this time of crisis, you have to follow science. It's often said that you should never allow a good crisis to go to waste because a crisis is an opportunity to also do good reform.
I've heard that so many times. Never allow a good crisis to go to waste.
So now, you heard him say that free will, that's over. It's not, it's about to be over.
It's over.
It's over.
Yeah, I heard him say it 5 times and one time really slow.
It's over.
So, I mean, you could take this deeply and go into everybody that's voting. Is that your fucking choice? How did they get to hack the entire human race? What is it that they gave to everyone that makes them hackable human beings?
Computers.
Maybe a vaccine.
Could it be a vaccine?
Nah,
could it be an
the
algorithm?
It's the
could
phone,
it be?
bro. It's
the phone. Dude, your phone is a computer.
It's the phone, man.
Your phone is a computer.
It's a goddamn tracking device,
it's
digital
internet,
currency.
Dog. I mean, yes, but notice
information.
He said a couple of things. He says we can track their surveillance, they're hackable, so they know where you are. I think that's the phone.
Yes.
They can make you decide what you want to do. I think that's more than just the phone or algorithms. I think
well,
that
also
with
tracking
vaccines.
you and all that.
That's vaccines.
What was the second thing you said?
They can track you. They can they know where you are. They can track what you're tracking you. They also can make you choose what they want you to choose.
Oh yeah.
That's not a phone.
No,
that's more than the phone.
Yeah,
with the phone, it's the possibility that if we put this in front of your face, you'll click and purchase.
Right.
Now we can make you decide what to purchase.
Yeah.
Well, they do that with it's multi-layers. It's the billboard. It's the internet ad. It's the radio ad. It's your boy.
Well, it's also
about
locking people down and feeding them information over and over and over and over. They did a study, right, where they say that if you continue to put information into a person's head on television for I think it was like 3 weeks straight or something like that, that you will absorb it and take it as truth. The average mind will absorb it and take it as truth. And then no matter what you do to contradict it, it won't be received as long as you continue to feed that narrative.
Look, so this is
it's all mental warfare. There's a mental warfare going on that people need to be aware of. It's not just them kicking in your doors, and because that'll happen, I think, sooner or later. But it's also a mental warfare that they're doing in our brains.
Yeah.
You know
so I don't think so. Let me just add this part.
Brains,
I think that the idea that human beings will follow images that's put in front of them, especially images that's put on front stage, is not uncommon. You know, I believe that there's some research that they've done about ancient civilization, especially during the time of King Tut, where they saw that the average culture was trying to be like they're emulating their leaders. For example, King Tut had like a cone shaped head, they imagined, because of the headdress that he wore. And they found that in the ancient civilization, some of these cultures, they were banning their heads to create a cone-shaped head to look like their leaders. So my point in bringing that up is that it's not
that there's always been idiots out there.
Aliens,
right.
aliens.
It's not
aliens?
uncommon
that
Aliens?
idiots go back in
right.
the day. Yo.
So
aliens?
it's not uncommon for people to want to emulate their leaders. Even today, look at Beyonce. Beyonce has this blonde wig. How many women are walking around here with their headdresses on, looking like Beyonce, right? How many men have
Beyonce made chicks quit their job with her new song.
Right.
They
Exactly.
said a week after the song came out, mad chicks were quitting their jobs. And they said,
Right.
why? They said, because of the song.
Right. And look at men. Men have these huge beards on their faces because of Rick Ross, right? So it's not uncommon. So this is not new information that human society, we follow. So I think he means more than just putting images in front of humanity to make them to bend the will. I think this has to be something deeper than just putting new images.
Well, it's not the images. It's like the news and all that stuff. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
That's what he was kicking. But, what do I know? I'm just a host of a bullshit fucking podcast that tells jokes at night. You know what I'm saying? What do I know, man? What do we know, man? He's just a teacher. He's just a teacher.
I bet you
and
know
a wise
good
man.
place to get butt in Astoria.
I am not a teacher, a preacher, or a wise man. I am just a man who has walked this road before. And I could tell you what lies ahead, what waits for you around the corner. You know what I'm saying? That's all.
And it's a program.
I've been down this road, baby, because everything's the cycle.
This time it's a program.
And everything's the cycle.
Installed in your body.
Yeah, man. This whole thing was the test.
It might just be installed.
And a lot of y'all failed.
Yes.
You know what I'm saying? This whole thing was the test. And a lot of y'all failed. But you know who didn't fail? I'm pretty sure our listeners. I'm pretty sure our listeners did not fail. I'm pretty sure the people who sit here and listen to the end of our fucking programs, they have not failed. They're the warriors that, have already chosen their side.
That's a fact.
And just remember, people, the righteous will win. This fucking podcast was fucking mind blowing to me. I can't wait to watch it over.
Mm-hmm.
And we got the people over at Apollo Bud to thank for it, man. Our sponsor at Apollo Bud. Go to Apollo Buds, man. Call them up, 347-355-5281. And set up an appointment to go over there and see them, man. Tell them that Rated G sent you. And if you're lacking, listen, people. Listen, we talk all this doomsday shit, right? And that's because it's true. But we don't know that for a fact. But, this is just our common sense telling what's going on. So it sounds a little gloomy. And I understand if you're feeling a little down, if you and your lady have been fighting because you're both feeling a little down, go pick yourself up. XXX Playground, one of the greatest sexual tools, adult communication tools ever created. Because even though the world is going to shit, your relationship doesn't have to. So check out XXX Playground at xxxplayground.com and cop yourself a game. All links are in the bottom of our descriptions. And also, guys, like and subscribe to the fucking show. Why not? If you're watching it and you're not subscribed, what are you doing? Subscribe to the show. It helps us out in some fucking way. I don't even know how, but it does. Algorithms. You know what I'm saying? Let's see if we can get enough followers to make them care and actually make a file on me and Mo and Brian. Let's try to get us to a status where we all get a file in the FBI on us as somebody to watch because we're throwing all that fake information out there. Brian, where can these guys go to get some good CBD?
They can go to what'sgoodcbd.com for full spectrum CBD rich hemp extract, gummies, vapes, and all the things alike. Check out what'sgoodcbd.com.
And once again, man, check out my boy Mo if you need any installation at I install it. All right. And what's the website? What's the website?
Well, the website is not up yet, but
all right. It's 929-490-8083 if you're in New York, Brooklyn, Bronx.
Or you can email me at IInstallItForYou@gmail.
There you go, man. And also check out Last Call Reconciliation.
You
when I tell you that shit is, no, check it out. There's some music that deserves to be heard, you know. And if you haven't checked out my band, Smoking Suckers with Logic, that was some good shit too, man. Check that out on YouTube also. Why not throw a little plug in there? Follow me at Gary G. Garcia on Instagram, Facebook. Follow Brian at Brian the Video Guy on Instagram, and at Mo_Oliver. If you want to check out my brother Mo Simeon, my brother.
Yes.
Fucking brother. I love you, dog. And I thank you for coming on. I literally hit this brother up like 20 minutes before the show.
I figured.
And he called me up and say, I always do. You know, I always do. When you're like, you want to get somebody? I go, you know what? Let me hit him up real quick, see if he's around, because I know we're always going to have a dope show when Mo's on it, man.
I'm actually doing a speaking engagement on Wednesday, the 3rd. I'll be at Coney Island. Lee Zeldin is running for governor, so I'm speaking at his rally. So talking about some of the same shit that I'm talking about here, you know.
Oh, yeah. I also want to mention, man, check out my boy Rocker T is getting back with his band Skadanks, and they're going to be at the Brooklyn Bowl on August 11th. If you don't know Rocker T or Skadanks, man, they're just amazing. I'm going to try to get out there myself. August 11th, check them out at the Brooklyn Bowl. It's a reunion show, and I'm glad they got back together to do the show, and I'm hoping I can get to see it. Big up to them. I want to thank you guys for checking out the show today, man. Another episode of Rated G in the books. Peace.
Peace.